Even though I'm a grown adult now, we have been riding around on mini bikes lately, and it has been a ton of fun. I've been riding around my dad's mini bike, the little Doodle Bug, which that build was sponsored by Small Engine Warehouse. I'll talk about them a little later. And riding around on his little Doodle Bug mini bike has really made me want to get mine ready. My dad has been working himself to the bone trying to get my mini bike ready. We're supposed to be working on it together, but I live an hour and a half away. I've got a job, I do YouTube, I do other stuff, and I just haven't been going over there and helping him. So he's been doing everything himself. That's why I have commandeered my frame, forks, and gas tank away and brought it back home so I can paint it. But we need to decide on a color.
What should we go with to paint this mini bike with?
Man, I don't know. There's so many colors.
Man, would gold be pretty sweet or what? No, it never ends up looking that good.
All right, I think we decided now. We'll see how this goes. All right, this is the color here. Matte ink blue. I don't know why. It's kind of speaking to me, I guess. I don't know. But I actually need to get this cleaned up because there's metal shavings, dust, and such. Wipe it all off. It's already primered because my dad is impatient. So really all we have to do is paint and then clear coat over it. I'm just gonna take this microfiber, try to get all of these like metal dust, all of these metal shavings, the dust off of here. It's a mini bike. I don't need the paint job to be absolutely fantastic or anything, but I do want it to be, you know, halfway good, halfway decent, whatever you want to say. All right, I think we're ready. Right after I get done hitting this little baby closer. I wasn't entirely sure why my dad masked off right here, but I think I'm actually gonna run with it and have this not painted right here. I'm gonna do something else with that. All right, here we go. First couple sprays. Now that I'm looking at this, it seems very blue. I think I'm actually gonna split up the colors a little bit is what I'm getting at. I think I just want the frame to be blue. Now that I see the tank is blue also, I don't think I want the tank blue either. I think I'm gonna go with black for the bars and the tank because this is starting to be too much blue for me. All right, so here's the deal. I'm gonna take the forks away so we don't have any more overspray on it. I'm gonna take this away and this away, no more overspray on that. I'm gonna let this dry. Then I'm gonna paint the forks in the tank black later. I need to go do something. I got errands. I got stuff to do. Busy. But I'm gonna make time for this today. Come back after like an hour and hopefully it's not a catastrophe. If these dogs would be quiet! We're gonna come back in like an hour and see if it's a catastrophe or not. All right, I'm back. It's actually been like 2.5 hours, not just 1 hour. But we still need to paint the underside of the frame. We're gonna let that dry a little bit, and then we will do the tank and the forks. All right, let's let that dry. Since I decided to procrastinate until later into the day, it is now nighttime, which means all of these parts are now wet from condensation or coldness. And I don't think that's good for the curing process. You see what I mean here? Yeah, see how it's got that water on there? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this heat gun. Is this a bad idea? Probably. Am I gonna ruin it? Likely. Let's do it anyway. So here's the deal. Small Engine Warehouse did not actually sponsor this video, but they have been very good to us. We're doing all sorts of projects with Small Engine Warehouse. They've been in business for over 50 years. They have tons and tons of stock for almost any small engine that you possibly need. They're a family-owned business. They carry all the name brands like Honda, Kohler, Briggs & Stratton, CRX, and so on. They support this channel, so if you like this type of content, please show them some support anytime you need something for your small engine vehicles, equipment. All right, it's the next day. Let's see what the damage is. All right, now that it's in the daylight, it's not amazing. Clear coat. This is a pretty bad combo of it getting wet and then clear coat, and then I used the heat gun. The frame is kind of what I was going for though, so that ought to do. Nothing is amazing here though. The forks from laying it down like this, of course there's gonna be a mark right there and there. This is a mini bike though. Not trying to win any fashion shows, I suppose. I guess this will work. I think this might look cool polished, so we're gonna try to get this a little smoother, and then I'll probably try to either polish it or clear coat over it. We'll see, we'll see. So here's what we're looking at so far. Got it mocked up. I think I like the look of it. I want to wait until I have everything on there. It's kind of what I was going for. Got the seat kind of just sitting here. Black tank, black forks. Dad made some foot pegs instead of the ones that kept falling off. And those are held on with some cotter pins though. The paint job wasn't fantasticular. I don't know what that means, but anyway, the clear coat was, you can see this top, it's a little lighter blue than the bottom here because of things that I did. But here's another issue. I'm realizing that where you would mount the seat right here does not line up with that bracket, and there's not one right where this is going to be sitting. So I just got done painting the frame, but now I need to weld another little bracket right here. So I'm gonna have to take off our fresh paint, weld a bracket, and paint again so that we can actually mount our seat. I'm a little low on metal, so we have some very rusty angle iron from something. That's about how big the piece is gonna be. I need to cut this out, and then I'm gonna cut one side off and use that for our mounting bracket. And now we have a little piece of flat metal. Let's clean it up though. Boom! Now instead of burning the plastic table, we burn our piece of wood. All right, now I need to know where I'm gonna put this bar. I want my seat about right there. I'm gonna give her a little mark ski bibble, and right there. Now I also need to know where to put my holes. How am I gonna do that? Let's take some masking tape, put it over like this. Now I can see my 2 holes. Bring it over to our piece of metal. All right, yeah, that's gonna work. It's gonna sit just like that. Now we need to put that in place. All right, time to ruin our brand new paint job. All right, since I do everything bass-ackwards, I gotta paint again because I forgot to double check the mounting brackets, but that's okay. We'll have extra support up front here for the seat. Gosh, now I gotta paint this again. I'm trying to like hold the cardboard in a certain way so we can paint like that. All right, let that dry. This is gonna be under the seat, and then we're also gonna have the engine and the wheel and everything. So the attention isn't gonna be here. Not gonna see much of this. There we go. Got our little welds on there. That'll do. Yep, there goes more of our fresh paint.
Yeah!
There she is. Well, I am pretty happy with how she's turning out so far. Now, we need to get the wheels on this thing. We need to get the engine in. So I am really excited to start riding this thing. Of course, the paint is not fantastic. We had to repaint and do touch-ups in several places. But I'm having a great time doing these builds. We're gonna get this powertrain in here. Then maybe me and Dad will race. I'd like to thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the rest of the build. We're also gonna do a lot more builds coming soon. I know typically I'm doing tool reviews on this channel, but it's time that I actually start building things, making things, fixing things. So if you're into that, maybe give it a thumbs up on this video so I know, and I hope to see you in the next one.